Have you pre-ordered yet? I pre-ordered. Can't wait for the open beta to come out and then the game proper, probably in a few weeks' time. But I thought I'd pop up a couple of videos in advance to show you all of the ships, all of the anti-ship choppers and all of the anti-ship aircraft. Have a quick look at their stats and have a look at each one. They look pretty damned awesome. So I'm going to start off with the Redfor. These are the command ships. There's 5 command ships in the Redfor. Oh, first of all, yeah, just in case you don't know, in all of the decks you get like this marine, a marine part to your deck. It's absolutely free, and you can see you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 or 9 slots, or 8 or 9 cards if you want to call them cards. They're free. Of course, you have to spend points to bring these units in, but you've got a sort of a choice of what you bring into your marine deck, and you have to have a coastal or one of the coastal spawn points to be able to bring these units in. So C, very important, and that's what they're really pushing in this game. So first of all, this is it. This is the first ship, the Najin. This is a, I think, pretty much good all-rounder kind of ship. It costs 80 points to bring in. It's got 2 ship-to-ship missiles with a range of 5,250. It's got this unusual dual-type 60-55 gun, or whatever it is, that looks to be have a very high fire rate of 300 rounds per minute. I'm not sure. That may shoot down missiles as well as all these other things that it does. And it's also got its main gun on the front, which is good at shooting ground targets with a range of 5,250, and also at shooting helicopters and aeroplanes as well. All the ships have the same amount of armor, both blue 4 and red 4, 2, 2, 2, and 2, all the way around. But they do have different strengths, so they can take more or less punishment. This one has a strength of 100, which is sort of middling. Again, I'd say this is a decent all-round ship. Next, we have this big boy, the Sovereignty or Sovereignty, or however you pronounce that. I do apologise if I'm not pronouncing it properly. I would say this is a ship-to-ship, ship destroyer, and also excellent aircraft and AA, sort of floating AA weapon as well. It's got 8 ship-to-ship missiles with a good range of 7,875. It's also got the gunners of all these big ships that can shoot at ground, helicopters and aircraft, but it's also got this unusual anti-air gun as well, which has got a probably, I think, one of the longest anti-air ranges of all the ships, if not the longest, at 5,250 meters, as well as a 2,800 meter range against helicopters. So that looks pretty awesome AA weapon right there. This ship also has a strength of 250, which makes it pretty damned difficult to destroy unless you've got a lot of ships banging away with their anti-ship missiles against it. Our third CV ship is this, the Type 051 Luger. This again, probably another good all-rounder. It costs 100 to get out. It's got 6 ship-to-ship missiles with a range of 6,125. It's a Seacraft again, and it's got this minigun which shoots again at 300 rounds per minute. So I'm guessing that can take out a number of incoming missiles, as well as taking out aircraft and ground targets as well. And it also has the normal gun on the front for ground targets, helicopters and aircraft. Strength of 150, so pretty much a middling kind of big ship, good all-rounder. Next we've got this. This is the Type 0538 something Chang, or I can't pronounce that, Chang or something. This is going to be, I think, the Redfor's main ship-to-ship destroyer, main ship destroying craft. because it's got 8 missiles with pretty much the maximum range, I think, of the ships, which is 8,750. It's got 8 of them, and in the closed beta you could get 3 of these guys in on one card, and you can get up to 2 cards of these, so you could get 6 of these in total if you really wanted. It's also got that main gun at the front, similar to the other large ships with ground helicopter and chopper destroying abilities, and that minigun, this time 12 per second, also useful to shoot down helicopters and aeroplanes, but not ground targets this time. So the main thing about this is 8 ship-to-ship missiles, 8,750 range, and definitely a ship destroyer. It's got decent strength at 150, and it costs just 90 to bring out. So I think we're going to see a lot of this particular type of ship. Next, we've got the biggest ship in the Redfor, the Udaloi 2. And again, like the Sovereign Enemy, this is really good ship destroyer and anti-air as well. Has good anti-air capability as well. It's got 8 ship-to-ship missiles with a range of 7,875. The main gun on the front, similar to all the others as we've just discussed. And it's also got this other gun with a loading time of 2 per second, with it's got these anti-aircraft missiles, 64 of them, with a range of 4,200. When we look at the anti-ship aeroplanes later on, you can see their ranges lie in between the sort of 4,000 to 5,000 range. So you've got to be hitting these aircraft just before or just after they've released their missiles, I suppose, just stand a chance of taking these guys out. And this ship and the Sovereign Enemy, which we saw earlier, do seem to be capable of doing that. It's the biggest ship. It costs the most, 250. You get one of them, but it's got a strength of 300. So I imagine it can take a couple of punishing hits before it sinks to the bottom of the sea. So that's all the command ships. Then we've got the rest of the Navy. There's this little boy, the Coma. It costs only 30, and it's only got 20 armor, so it's not going to be too difficult to destroy. It's got 2 ship-to-ship missiles, which is pretty much it for this ship, to be honest. It has got another small weapon, the dual type 2M thingy, which can shoot down sort of up close stuff, I suppose. But the main thing is these 2 rockets that it's got for firing at ships. It is Riverine, so it can go up and along rivers, so it might be useful. So the other gun might be useful maybe for supporting infantry or something like that. Once it's used up, it's 2 ship-to-ship missiles. But you don't want to get it too close to the enemy because, so like I say, strength of only 20. Okay, then we've got this guy, the Musketeer 205. This is a little bit similar to the Coma that we showed just now, but this one's got 4 missiles, the same range, 5,250, but 4 instead of 2, so twice as many missiles. It costs, what, 75? Oops, 75 is it? No, hold on. Costs... It costs 50, whereas the Coma costs 30, so it costs not quite twice as much. It's slightly better armoured with 30, and it's got 4 missiles. It's coastal though, not riverine, so it can't go up the rivers, but it can go close to the coastline. I assume that means it can go, just can't go under bridges. I'm not quite sure what coastal means. I assume it means it can go up into the sort of mouths of the river, but can't go under bridges and stuff like that, whereas riverines can probably go under bridges. So ship to ship. 4 missiles, sort of fairly limited what you can do with it, but it is cheap, and yeah, I suppose if you could keep getting it reloaded and firing at ships, then good on ya. Next, we've got the Ninotchka. The Ninotchka has got 6 anti-ship missiles with a range of 7,800, and this really is its main weapon, although it does have some nice, they're not Strelas, are they? But there are some anti-aircraft missiles with a range of 3,150 against aircraft and 1,925 against helicopters, and it's got 40 of those, so they could come in a little bit useful. It could help with the anti-aircraft screening. Its strength is 60, which is towards the low end. It's only a small ship, but not too bad. And then its other gun is, well, what would you call that? Probably a minigun or something like that, which can shoot at ground targets, helicopters and aeroplanes. And next we have the PC Cheongju. The PC Cheongju. This has got basically a couple of autocannons, but its primary weapon is this rocket artillery, I guess. So basically, yeah, it's a rocket artillery piece. Keep it behind the lines. It costs 40. Strength is only 40, which, yeah, it's not too bad for a small craft, I suppose. Again, it is a Riverine, so it can go all the way along the rivers and maybe support ground units as well, especially with those twin autocannons, which it can use to defend itself against incoming infantry choppers and stuff like that. Next, we've got this guy, the Tarantula. Tarantula? Tarantula? I don't know how you pronounce that. I'll call it the Tarantula 3 anyway. So the Tarantula 3, it's got 4 ship-to-ship missiles with a range of 7,850. It's coastal and it's got a strength of 80. It's also got a fairly decent gun on the front of it for such a small craft with a range of 3,850. And it's got the good old Strellas. It's got some Strela missiles to shoot down helicopters and aeroplanes. Cost 75, strength 80. I don't know whether you get too much use. It's a bit of a small all-rounder, if there's such a thing as a small all-rounder, with the 4 ship-to-ship missiles as well. Okay, next we've got the Type 0372. This is sort of really a destroyer, I suppose. Again, anti-ship, I would call this 6 anti-ship missiles with a range of 8,750. Again, the longest range in the game. Other armaments include the main gunners and all the others with a slightly shorter range for ground targets. And it's got this, what looks like quite an incredible minigun with a rate of fire of 1,384. So this probably, again, is capable of shooting down incoming missiles, so it could be used as a screen as part of to be used as part of a larger force, and it's coastal. Next, we've got this little boy, the Type 62 Shanghai. This basically has got a couple of, I guess, autocannons. Not sure what you would really use this. It is Riverine, so I suppose it can support ground units to a certain extent. That's all I can say about that one, really. Its strength's 30, only costs 30 for twin autocannons. Can't be bad, is it? But would you put it in place of any of the larger vessels? That's the question, really. Next, we've got the Shantou. The Shantou, basically, I'd say this is sort of, I don't know, it's got like a little gun there. Is that an autocannon or a gun? Or it's got quite a high fire rate of 240, and it's got this recoilless gun, which, to be honest, looks absolutely useless to me. I don't know. It's only 20, I suppose, with a strength of 40. I can't see many people getting this Shantou, but again, you know, it depends. Maybe it depends on the map. I don't know what all the maps look. Hopefully they'll have a load of different types of maps, and so some of these sort of ships will be suitable for some maps, and some of the ships will be suitable for other types of maps. I hope that's what the plan is anyway. Next, it's got this Schmel. Sorry about my pronunciation. It's Riverine, so it can go up rivers. Basically, it's a floating rocket artillery piece, really. But it's also got those miniguns which can fire at 400 rounds per minute. Maybe, again, I keep saying maybe shooting down missiles. I'm not sure about that aspect of the game, but I know that there are guns on a lot of the ships that do shoot down incoming missiles. But yeah, 400 rounds per minute, I guess this could be one of them. Cost 30 and a strength of 50. It's a funny colour. I guess that's meant to be camouflage, but it just looks like it's just going to stand out like a sore thumb. I wouldn't like to be on that ship when it's full of sort of rocket artillery, floating bomb if you ask me, but I guess you're going to keep it well back behind the lines. Then we've got this, the Muna CMT, and this is your floating fob, 20,000 litres of fuel, logistics and supply. It's got a strength of 100, so, you know, but although you would want to keep it well behind, obviously those stats are slightly wrong. It says you get 4 trained or 2 rookies, but I guess that should be the other way around. That just needs sorting out. But yeah, that's your supply vehicle for the ships. Also, I suppose you could use it to supply infantry, as it is Riverine, and assuming that it's Riverine, it can go up rivers, so we'll be able to supply ground troops as well. So that might be another use for this type of supply ship. Then we move on to the aircraft, the Redfor aircraft. This is the A59 Chang, and this has got 2 ship-to-ship missiles with a range of 4,550, and you can compare that with the ranges of the ships you've seen earlier with their anti-air capabilities. This has also got a cannon or a gun, I suppose, and has got anti-aircraft can shoot down airplanes, helicopters as well. It's got a couple of them and costs 80. And then we have the JH7F Bao, or FE1BAO, whatever you want to say. It's got 2 ship-to-ship missiles with a range slightly longer range of 5,250. It's got a cannon and anti-air ability as well with those 4 missiles. All of these airplanes have got a strength of 10, and they've got various rates of the ECMs do vary, so it's important to look at things like that when you're deciding on which ones to get. Of course, the more expensive ones generally have slightly longer range and better ECM, slightly higher speed, things like that. This one costs 130. Then we've got the good old MiGs, the MiG-29K. This has got 4 anti-ship missiles with a range of 4,200, and by the way, all of these do 20 AP power, sort of powers worth of damage if they hit a ship. Also, yeah, it's got the cannon, and it's got these Vimpai missiles, which are good against good accuracy and good stabilizers against aircraft as well, so dual use. And then we've got the Su-27K. This only has 1 ship-to-ship missile, but it also has anti-air capability with a long range of 6,300 meters against other aircraft, and it's got that little auto cannon on it as well to try and do some damage to aircraft or ground units or helicopters, in fact. This aircraft's got the best ECM at 50% and a high speed at 1,000. It's got the best accuracy and the best stability, but it's only got 1 missile. So, you know, this is better as maybe an anti-air or maybe an anti-air sort of weapon, or maybe for picking off isolated ships rather than flying in with just 1 missile into a cluster of ships. I don't know. We'll have to test that out and find out. A couple of choppers for Redfor. This one, the KA-27PLP, has got 2 anti-ship missiles with a range of 4,550. Costs 40 to get out. Decent accuracy, decent stabilizer. Again, AP power, as with everything else, is currently 20. Strength of 10 and a decent-ish speed, and we compare that with the other chopper that they've got, which looks nicer but probably isn't quite as effective, the Z9C, with a range of just 3,500, whereas the other one was a lot more. Okay accuracy and okay stabilizers, just 2 missiles, whereas the other guy I think had, it had 2 missiles as well. But you can get 6 of these guys, so you can get quite a lot of choppers. They're not too expensive. This one was 40, the previous one, this one's 50, and the previous one was 40. So guys, that is pretty much it for the packed, or sorry, not packed, Redfor ships, anti-ship aircraft and anti-ship choppers. I'm going to do one for Blue 4 as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do comment, like and subscribe. Tell me how much you are looking forward to Wargame Red Dragon, and I'll see you in the next video.